What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, bigboyfactsjonnytv, and tonight I'll go my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications to get notified when I premiere a brand new video go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and Discord down below in the description, and go check out my WWE NXT New Year's Eve review and highlights. It's up on the channel right now. Go check it out. But anyway, let's get started on AEW Dynamite review and highlights. Now AEW Dynamite was a good show. I enjoyed it. So we get the first match card: John Moxley versus Hangman Page. This was a pretty good match right here. Page and Moxley take the fight to each other and duke it out. Moxley gains an early advantage. Page rallies and goes for a buckshot lariat, but Moxley has it scouted as he knocks Page to the outside. They brawl on the floor, and Page drills Moxley with a lariat. Moxley responds with a furious, fear, fear cautious clothesline of his own. The perv the perv of violence grounds and pounds Page. The two foes trade blows, and neither man gives in. Hangman slams Moxley. Page nails Moxley with a lariat and rocks him with a boot. He hits a diving moonsault to the outside. Moxley counters the buckshot lariat into a death rider for a 2 count. Moxley elbows Page repeatedly and goes for the bulldog choke. Hangman escapes and John Moxley hits a pile driver, but Page kicks out at one. The former champions keep exchanging bombs. Page levels Moxley with one lariat and hits the buckshot lariat for the win. The winner of the match, Hangman Page. This was a pretty good match. The ringside doctor checks on Moxley after the match. He seemingly hurts. Tony Schiavone is in the ring and he introduced the return Adam Cole. This was a good segment right here. I love this segment right here. Adam Cole says his story time, and he has good news and bad news. He says he has a new appreciation for pro wrestling and his life in general. Adam Cole says all he ever wanted to do was be a pro wrestler, and he has gotten to do that in the best wrestling company on the planet. Adam Cole makes it clear that he was really banged up and he had two back to back very serious head injuries. He says he was seeing doctors multiple times a week and he was going through a rough time. Adam Cole describes how he had anxiety and he could sleep, and he looked at Britt Baker and tell her he didn't know what's happening. He says the fans have been there for him and he is externally grateful for that. Adam Cole then shifts to the bad news. He says the bad news is for the AEW locker room because Adam Cole is back. Adam Cole says he's not going anywhere, and his he thought his career was over, but he's back and he's not done yet. He says he won't stop until the best, and this is the birth of the new Adam Cole. Adam Cole vows to climb to the top of the mountain. Um, that was a good promo by Adam Cole. I mean, good segment by Adam Cole. Backstage, the Acclaim previewed their plans for AEW Rampage. They say they're getting Hollywood stars on the Walk of Fame. All right, so we get Jungle Boy. So we get Hook and Jungle Boy versus Big Bill and Lee Monterelli, accompanied by Stokely Hathaway. This was a quick tag team match. This tag team match was solid. Jungle Boy starts the bout with Lee Monterelli and quickly ganks upper hand. Hook tags in and double teams Lee Monterelli with Jungle Boy. He grounds Lee Monterelli and goes for an arm bar, and Lee Monterelli escapes. Hook and Jungle Boy maintain the advantage. Jungle Boy dives onto Big Bill, and the powerhouse catches him, but Hook breaks it up. Big Bill takes control. He overpowers Jungle Boy, and the Fram members isolate the former tag team champion. Jungle Boy rallies and powerbombs Lee momentarily. Hook makes the hot tag and clears house with a fury of offense. He squares up to the Big Bill. Squares up to Big Bill and Jungle Boy tags in. Hook suplex the big man. Jungle Boy locks Lee Monteri in the snare trap and makes him tap out. The winner of the match, Hook and Jungle Boy. This was a solid tag team match. All right, let's move on. Backstage, Orange Cassidy is doing an interview, and Paul Walter Hauser shows up. He says he has a surprise in store for AEW Rampage. Hauser asks Cassie if things are okay between him and best friends. He says they are as Trent Beretta and Chuck shows up to seemingly shows that's the case. Backstage, Renee Paquette discussed the history of Game 7 in the former home of the Los Angeles Lakers. Alright, let's move on. So we get next match card, Brian Danielson versus Konosuke Takesha. This was a good match. Before the match, AEW World Champion MJF comes to the ring and says Konnichiwa, but to Takesha. He says he hasn't seen any of Takesha's stuff and makes fun of the fan favorite's name. Takesha responds and MJF tells him to speak American. Takesha shows MJF and the champion tells the referee to hold Takesha back. MJF brings up his Iron match against Brian Danielson, and he says he can last an hour, and fans can ask their mom or their sister about that. He calls himself the real Iron Man of professional wrestling. MJF says he's about pinning shoulders on the mat and bring and bang, banging rats. MJF then turns his attention to Ken Jong, who is in the crowd, and roasts him before he brings up Freddie Prinze Jr. He also in the crowd and says, "You are nothing more than a Scooby Dooey douchebag." Brian Danielson runs to the ring and chases MJF away. Brian Danielson and Takesha feel each other out as the match begins. Brian Danielson takes Takesha to the mat and puts him in the surfboard stretch. Takesha gains the upper hand and drills Danielson with a shot to the face. The two stars trade strikes. Takesha takes control again. Brian Danielson goes for the label lock, but Takesha reaches the ropes. Takesha hits a blue Thunderbomb for a 2 count. He drills Brian Danielson with stiff strikes. Brian Danielson floors him with an elbow strike. Brian Danielson controls the action, but Takesha takes him down with a lariat off the top. Brian Danielson hits a running knee strike off the apron. He lands awkwardly on his knees. Takesha hits a brainbuster on the floor. Brian Danielson blocks a senton and traps Takesha in a label lock, but he reaches the ropes again. Takesha drills Brian Danielson with an elbow strike, and Brian Danielson fires back. They trade strikes. Brian Danielson blocks a knee strike and elbows Takesha. A wheelbarrow suplex earns Takesha a 2 count. Brian Danielson hits a running knee strike for a 2 count. He stops Takesha and locks in the regal stretch. Takesha is out and the referee calls for the bell. The winner of the match, Brian Danielson. This was a good match. All right, let's move on. Backstage, Juice Robinson is asked about his goals. He says he's here to kick you know what and take names, and he also wants to win gold. He challenged Darby Allin to a TNT Championship match on Rampage. All right, let's move on. All right, so we get Tony Storm and Saraya versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter coming by Rebel. This match right here this was a average tag team match. This was average. Hayter and Storm start the match and fill each other out. Tony Storm hits the champion with a series of strikes. Jamie Hayter fires back, but Storm dumps her to the floor. Saraya dives onto Hayter and takes control. Saraya and Storm go for a double suplex, but Hayter counters and takes them both down. Britt Baker tags in and drops Tony Storm with a neck break onto the floor. Saraya slams Jamie Hayter in the steps as the teams fight at ringside. Hikaru comes down the ramp and stands at ringside. Britt Baker takes control and grounds Storm in the ring. She suplexes Tony Storm and maintains the advantage. Jamie Hayter and Baker continue to isolate Storm. Saraya tags in and clears house with a fury of offense. She hits the nightcap for a 2 count. Saraya drills Britt Baker with a knee strike for a 2 count. Saraya attacks Tony Storm, who hits a running hip attack and a tornado DT. Jamie Hayter breaks up a submission hold with a big boot. Baker and Jamie Hayter gang up on Tony Storm in the corner. Jamie Hayter nails Saraya with a cheap shot. Britt Baker hits an avalanche air rag crush for a 2 count. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter double team Tony Storm. Saraya breaks up the pin. Tony Storm drops Jamie Hayter with the Storm Zero, but Britt Baker breaks up the pin. Tony Storm kicks Britt Baker after she takes Saraya down. Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm trade blows until they both fall down. Reba gets on the apron and Sheeta slides the candlestick into the ring. Britt Baker hits Tony Storm with it, and Jamie Hayter scores the win with a lariat. The winner of the match, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. This was a average tag team match. This was average. All right, let's move on. Sheeta looks shocked after the match. Eddie Kingston and Ortiz struggle to get along in a promo for their match with the Kings of the Black Throne. So we get the in-ring segment, Jericho Appreciation Society. All right. Um, this was a um pretty good promo. Chris Jericho and the Jericho Appreciation Society hyped themselves up and discussed their appearance at the PWG. Jericho says the Ricky Starks experiment is over. Ricky Starks in action and action Andre T interrupt. Andre T tells Jericho to shut up after the former champion says he should go back to the minor leagues. Andre Andreas threatens to shove Jericho's baseball bat up his you know what. Andretti says Guerrero can't even control his own wife. So Ricky Starks tells Jericho to move to the side and focus on Hager. He calls Hager a dumb purple helmet wearing idiot. Stark says it's time. It's a shame. Hager is the village idiot now. Hager vows to slap Ricky Stark's face off uh, face off his face. Ricky Starks responds by saying Hager will be getting in the ring with someone who is absolute next week. All right, so we get the main event of the evening: best of seven series finals. Ladder match for the AEW World Trios Championship: Death Triangle, Penta, Ray Phoenix, and Pac versus the Elite Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. This main event, this main event was fantastic. The match quickly breaks down into a fight. Bodies are flying as the foes trade fast-paced offense. Pac drops Nick Jackson with a cutter, and Ray Phoenix hits a splash. Ray Phoenix dives onto Kenny Omega at ringside, but Nick Jackson dives right onto him. Kenny Omega draws Penta with a snapdragon. Pac hits a shotgun dropkick. Kenny Omega plants him with a snapdragon. Kenny Omega goes for a dive on and he crashes through a table. Matt Jackson sends Pac through another table with a dive. The Lucha Brothers takes control. The Young Bucks rallies and Nick Jackson dives onto Ray Phoenix on the outside. Matt Jackson sends Penta crashing onto a ladder. Ray Phoenix hits a hurricane onto Nick Jackson on a ladder, and both men land awkwardly. Kenny Omega stops Pac from climbing a ladder, but Pac drops him with a poison Rana. The Lucha Brothers hit the Fear Factor on Kenny Omega. Ray Phoenix dive onto Nick Jackson at ringside. The Young Bucks keep fighting, and Matt Jackson suplex Ray Phoenix on a ladder. Matt Jackson goes to climb the ladder, but Alex Abrahams stops him. Cutler sprays him with his bottle, and Kenny Omega drills Alex with a V trigger. Pac used the hammer on Kenny Omega and hits the Falcon Arrow on the floor. Pac and Matt Jackson battle on the top of the ladder. Penta hits a pile driver on a ladder. Kenny Omega meets Ray Phoenix at the top of the ladder. Kenny Omega blocks the Black Arrow by getting the knees up. Kenny Omega climbs the ladder and unhooks the titles to win the match. The winner and your new AEW World Tag Team Champions. I'm sorry, the winners and your new AEW Trios Tag Team Champions, the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. This match was fantastic. I like this match. And AEW goes off the air. And let me mention this before I end the video. Um Shout out to Jessica Goldlich for a TikTok video of Stephanie McMahon. Um this is I'm just saying this in a prediction way. Let me predict this. What if Stephanie McMahon joins AEW Dynamite? That will be the greatest heel role of all time in any wrestling if Stephanie McMahon would have head down that road. That would be the fans would go crazy and they will lose their minds at the same time. But anyway, I just want to predict that. I just want to predict that and put this out there. I'm not saying Stephanie McMahon is all elite. If Stephanie McMahon was all elite, people on Twitter would have been talking about this. So Stephanie McMahon is not all elite. That's all I gotta say from here. I just want to put that out there. But anyway, AEW Dynamite was a good show. I enjoyed the show. Adam Cole cut a good segment, and the main event was fantastic, but everything else was just great, and that's all I gotta say from there. I enjoy AEW Dynamite because it was a good show. But anyway, I was the second person that said that, and Goldlynch, Jessica Goldlynch was the first one to say it. So, Jessica Goldlynch, if you're watching this video, shout outs to you. And if you want to take the time out of your night to watch this video, go ahead and watch this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's all I gotta say from here because Jessica Goldlich is awesome. She's such an amazing TikTok creator, and I respect her opinion. So that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, AEW Dynamite was a good show, and that's all I gotta say from here. Anyway, if you guys enjoy my AEW Dynamite review on highlights, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below on what are your thoughts on AEW Dynamite because it was a good show. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you please watch this full video. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on post notifications to get notified when I premiere a brand new video or go live on YouTube on every Sunday. Tuesday and Saturday, I'll go live on Twitch. But anyway, make sure you guys follow my socials. My Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And I will see you guys later. This your boy, bigboyfactsjonnytv. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang.